Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to an incredible astrological season. March is set to be a time of massive shifts taking place for the collective and in our own individual journeys as well. Saturn is going to change signs moving into Pisces for the better part of the next 3 years is when we're going to feel this energy. We've also got Pluto dipping into the sign of Aquarius now, but truly this is the beginning of a more extensive cycle for humanity that'll be with us for about 20 years to come. And Mars, after spending an unusually long time since August of last year in the sign of Gemini, will also finally change signs as well, moving into Cancer. And so these are massively important shifts that are happening for all of us now. And I've spoken about these at length already here on my YouTube channel, and I will link to that video below. And of course, if you want a very deep dive to understand how these big energies are going to speak for you in your sign, check out the year ahead horoscope. You can look at that at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com or download it now at NadiyaShah.com. For the monthly horoscopes, I am focusing a lot more on the big lunar events. Chances are we will feel them that much more. But just know there's a lot of things to consider here, and there's a lot here on my YouTube channel that can help you to navigate this truly amazing time for the collective and in your own individual journey as well. It'll be a great month. Enjoy. Hello, fabulous superstar Pisces. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. It is going to be this month that we have got some big celestial moves taking place. But I'm going to start with the lunar events because I think they're going to be so important for you, particularly the full moon that takes place on the 7th in your opposite sign. This is going to be a big moment for you in partnership, and something's got to give, something's got to change here. Now, a lot of Pisceans are going to experience this in the context of love. I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but business partnerships and professional alliances as well are covered here. And so we're going to have this full moon speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus. That is energy I absolutely love. There's a measure here of synchronicity, being in the right place at the right time, connecting or possibly reawakening a connection with a particular person. And it opens up possibilities in your life, including professional possibilities as well. However, we do have Neptune and Mercury somewhat opposite this particular full moon, which does tell me that there may be some mixed feelings on your part, or as it is that certain partnerships are progressing, others may have to be released or in some way may have some elements of disappointment there. I'm sorry to say, but it does happen. But ultimately that frees you so that you can take advantage of even bigger opportunities than you had before. But here's something that's really interesting. On the same day that this full moon occurs, Saturn will enter your sign. This is a big deal. Saturn takes 28 and a half years to go all the way around the zodiac. Over the course of a lifetime, you might get 2 or 3 visits of Saturn in your sign, and that's over the course of a lifetime. You are at the very beginning of a journey that's going to be with you for the better part of the next 3 years. Chances are you're going to feel the shift right away once Saturn enters your sign. And this is an energy of self-respect. It's an energy of being honest with yourself and being in real ways whom it is that you desire to be. It's about taking ownership for your happiness, realizing what you can do and taking those steps, but also realizing what is not in your power and turning it over. This is a lesson you'll be engaged in, but it comes down to accepting the truth. What is being shown? What is your life showing you? What is manifesting? And are you okay with it? Saturn in your sign can be a time of sweeping change. Whatever is superficial or based on potential or based on hope, well, chances are that just isn't going to work for you navigating forward from here, considering that Saturn is moving into your sign right around the time of that full moon. Well, it does suggest that a lot of these reality checks, this sense of acceptance, is going to show up in terms of the partners in your life, being honest about who these people are and whether or not it works for you. Where it doesn't, this is a time of freedom, moving in different directions. Where it does, there's a re-evolution here that strengthens connections now. As we navigate to the 21st, we will have this month's new moon. That new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with money you earn, money you spend, self-esteem, and self-worth. And so here's the thing. It is having this new moon at the very beginning of its respective sign. We're talking 0 degrees. That in and of itself represents just the beginning of a spark. But this new moon is also not making any true aspects, meaning that it has a certain way of being isolated in the sky. And so what that means is we do have planets speaking to this new moon. However, because the elements don't line up, they aren't true aspects, and that furthers that isolation. So, for example, Pluto is speaking in harmony with this new moon. However, it's not a true sextile. We have Mars speaking in tension with this new moon, but it's not a true square because the elements don't align with what those aspects actually represent. So that's the astrology lesson part of it. All of that is to say that spark could be new ideas to make money, what you want to spend your money on. And this could be the potential or the possibility of some financial opportunity. But remember, you're at the very beginning. And it might take a little bit of time to really flesh out the details and really understand what particular opportunity actually entails. And for it to become profitable, that may take a full 6 months when we have a full moon in this part of the sky. And you'll get to figure out whether or not that journey is worth it to you. This part of the sky also has to do with self-love and self-esteem, how you see yourself and the conviction to see yourself more lovingly. It starts deep within, but again, it's that spark that carried forward truly can become a force of magnificent change in your life in the fullness of time. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I'm going right back to that full moon. That represents a very important moment for you in the context of love, perhaps one of the more important moments of the year for you with that full moon. That full moon happening in your opposite sign gets you very honest about where you are in love and why and how you feel about it. There is a lot of really lucky energy around this full moon, but there's also that energy there that says where there has been disappointment, you're acknowledging it as well. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, this full moon could bring somebody. I do think when we have important lunar activity in your opposite sign, it means someone is there to help you to understand where you are in love and how you feel about it. There could be a very surprise romantic connection that does take place for you, and it may really feel like it comes out of nowhere. But chances are it'll stir a lot of emotion in ways that you hadn't expected, especially if it's the case that if you felt like you've been single for a little while, well, some of that may be part of what has you feeling uncertain. However, it won't take you long to find your bearings. It really is about enjoying the journey. That's what Uranus trines are all about. And in some way, regardless of what actually happens with this person, it's like the experience frees you. It helps you to take ownership of your happiness and to accept whether or not you feel partnership is part of that. Once we navigate later in the month, Mars will change signs. And once Mars changes signs in the last days of the month, well, Mars moves into a heart-oriented part of the sky for you, having to do with romance and flirtation. And chances are, over the course of the coming month and a half, you'll be getting your flirt on with greater courage and determination. For those of you just starting to date someone, what a remarkable time this is. That full moon will get you very honest about whether or not this is partnership for you. It's about getting honest about what you really feel. It's about seeing this person differently in some way. But whatever changes, it's like you're flowing with it. You feel fine with it. You feel good with it as well. So for some Pisceans out there, it's now that you may see things in this person that make you say, okay, this is not the one for me. And you're going in a different direction with ease and with happiness. However, for those who feel that this is or could be that person for you, well, life will make that evident if the two of you find yourselves leaping forward in some way. Once Mars changes signs, you'll be that much more motivated to either spend that much more time with this person or to approach dating in general with a renewed sense of determination, courage, and enthusiasm. Now, for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. That full moon really is the star of the show. That full moon for some Pisceans will be rather consequential, but for others, perhaps not as much. But it does bring your partner and your partnership into focus in some way. There's an element of good luck and change and freedom surrounding this full moon. If your partner's been involved in a difficult situation, might not have to do with the relationship itself. Well, this is where they are freed of it and moving forward, and that brings a shared sense of happiness. If it is that this energy does involve the relationship, well, in some ways, I feel this energy is very consequential. Where there's been challenges in the past, you're able to acknowledge them and approach what healthy forgiveness and acceptance look like for the two of you, finding a new understanding, beginning a fresh new chapter with greater emotional honesty. For a very small percentage of Pisceans out there, if you've known for a while that you're not in the right relationship for you, boy, is that going to feel very clear under the light of this full moon, along with the determination to make a meaningful change. And if that's what you decide to do, go in a different direction, it doesn't mean there isn't a sense of loss or disappointment, but it does mean that chances are you are making that choice consciously and with gratitude in your heart. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say Saturn entering your sign. That is a very big deal. This energy is going to be with you for over 2 years. The better part of the next 3 years, you're going to have Saturn in your sign. And it is a journey that helps you to own your happiness, to understand what that entails, and ultimately to align with greater self-respect than you knew before. That is always the higher understanding of Saturn. It is Armand Diaz in the interview that I posted with him recently, who said, Saturn, it helps you to make choices that are right for you. That's really key here. Understanding who you are with a greater sense of, yes, maturity, but also understanding what you're really responsible for and maybe what you no longer are or never were, ultimately empowers you to make changes that feel right for whom it is that you have been, but more importantly, whom you're becoming. Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there.